Hi again, Chef Robert here for your mushrooms in schools. In our previous videos, we talked all about the benefits of mushrooms, the most popular varieties in schools, and how to properly select, store, and clean them for use in recipes. Now that our mushrooms are ready to use, let's take a moment to review the various methods for cutting fresh mushrooms. We often see mushrooms sliced on top of salads or pizza, but there are a few other mushroom cuts I'd like to share with you too. Before we can dive into cutting mushrooms, we need to ensure we have the proper tool, a sharp knife. In my time in school kitchens, I've often encountered dull knives in the kitchen or the wrong knife being used for particular applications. This can be a problem for a few reasons. First, a dull knife is actually more dangerous than a sharp knife. I know it seems counterintuitive, but trying to cut food with a dull knife will make it harder to make your cuts and could lead to an injury. Second, it will take longer to make your cuts with a dull knife. A sharp knife, when used correctly, will allow you to quickly and safely prep food that will look great. With that in mind, I want to review some types of knives best suited for cutting mushrooms and how to properly care for those knives so they're ready for use in your kitchen. When I'm preparing meals in the school kitchen, I will have a couple of knives on hand, the chef knife and a paring knife. The chef knife, also known as the cook's knife, is a standard cutting tool used in food preparation. This knife was designed at first for slicing and disjointing large cuts of meat. Today it is utilized in many forms of cutlery in the kitchen. The paring knife is a small, short blade knife, also known as Grandma's favorite knife. It was my grandmother's favorite. A small knife that is used to cut away or peel skin off of fruits and vegetables. It can be a more precise tool for making small cuts when needed. Now let's talk about caring for your knives. It is very important that the knife you are using is sharp. It is good to have a knife sharpener on hand. Nowadays, there are a variety of sharpeners available. You can use a knife steel or stone, or you can get the newer sharpeners that are a slide-through device. Whichever one you have, make sure to practice and know how to use it properly to avoid injuring yourself. When you're sharpening a knife with a steel, you want to go away from yourself and down the steel. Start at the top and go down. Same with the other side, turn it over and go down. That's with the steel. Nowadays, they have a nice little gadget where you just hold it away from your body and just pull through. It has a little stone here in case you need to run off the edges and smooth them out a little bit. Again, away from your body. A slide through is a lot safer and easier. Follow the instructions provided by the manufacturer. It's okay to go slowly and carefully. I know knife sharpening can be scary for many, but I assure you, a sharp knife is safer than a dull knife. Now let's talk about using our knives when preparing mushrooms. When cutting mushrooms, you want nice, even, clean cuts, not ragged edges. This can be achieved by using a sharp knife. You want uniform cuts as well, meaning pretty much close to the same size for even cooking. The most popular cut of the mushroom is sliced or diced. Be mindful of the type of cut you will need for your mushrooms to be applied to your recipe. Sliced mushrooms are great for sandwiches, and if you're making a hot pasta or a rice dish, you might think more on the lines of diced. If you're blending, then you want finely chopped mushrooms, like when making meatballs or taco meat. For a stew, roasted vegetables, or raw vegetables with a dip, you may want more of a chunk size. If you're using them for garnish, a thin slice does well. We're using my favorite medium white mushrooms for this demonstration and including some 3 and 4 inch portobellos. Okay, we're going to first start with how to cut a mushroom in half and then we're going to go into wedges. We're going to start with our chef knife. I find it easier to put the mushroom on the bottom of itself, turn it over, put it between your hand, and go straight down. Pull. Now your mushroom's in half. If you were going to make wedges, cut the stem off, and now you have a wedge. Okay, for the portobello, first we're going to lay it flat so it doesn't roll all over. We're going to remove the stem, but we're going to save it. Cutting in half, again, place between your fingers and your thumb and press straight down. To make a wedge, again, you want to use the claw grip and straight down. There are your wedges. And don't discard the stems. There may be times when the application is better without the mushroom stem, but these pieces aren't ready for the trash bin yet. If needed, trim them of any dry or bruised ends, then slice or dice the stems for blending into entrees, gravies, sauces, for even more flavor and nutrition. The name of the game is less waste. Using all parts of the mushroom increases the yield per pound and helps you add layers of flavor throughout your menu. Next, we're going to talk about how to slice a mushroom. We want to even up the stem so it lays flat. You don't want your food to rock around. You want it stable. Now, the claw is what you need to hold the mushroom in place. Down, down. These are your sliced mushrooms. Now we're going to do the thin sliced. Again, after we've discarded the bottom of the stem, a thinner slice using the claw method is down, but this time it's closer to your finger. So it will be thinner. You'll see that it's a little thinner than the thicker slice. Okay, portobello. Now it's a heavier mushroom, a thicker mushroom. So you want to remove that stem. Again, we save the stem. Turn it over so it's nice and evenly flat. Again, we use the claw method. Down, down, down. Running the blade away from you. That way not to come close to your body. There you have your sliced portobellos. Nice even cut, very useful in many ways and applications. So now we're getting ready to do the chunk cut. Again, we'll remove the stem, stabilize the mushroom, turning it over. Again, you can take your knife down. I normally do about 4 cuts in there. And then you just come back across. Remember, keep that claw grip going. You don't want to cut yourself. Now we're going to do a finer dice. This time, we're going to take our knife, hold it with the claw grip, and we're going to go in the center and come across. Don't take it all the way through, because you want to hold it in place by not taking it all the way through. Next, cut your slices down. Then you want to do a up, down, up, down, up, down. Now you have a finer chopped mushroom. If you need it more fine, you can always come back and do it again. Now it's your turn. First, check out your knife in your kitchen. Make sure it has been recently sharpened. Then try your hand at some of these knife cuts. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.